I have literally been forgetting my tea everywhere today. Like, just everywhere. And I've drank maybe, like, not even a quarter of it. Hi, I'm Micah, and I don't typically make a whole lot of content on my channel super often. You'll have to put up with the very spontaneous uploads of whatever the hell I feel like, because that's kind of where it's at right now. A little off topic, considering what I want to talk about today, but anyhow, a little bit of an update. I do want to go back to doing my Let's Plays that I used to do like 3 years ago or so. I just need to get some things figured out in order for that to actually become a thing again. In the meantime, I'll probably just be posting whatever the hell I feel like, and I'm gonna try and make it so that it's actually kind of, for the most part, focusing on positives and not focusing on everything else in the world, because oh my god, there's just too much, man. There's too much. I need something happy. And speaking of happy, we're going to talk about Story of Seasons, aka The Real Harvest Moon. So, to back this up, never played a Story of Seasons game before they, after they rebranded to Story of Seasons, haven't played one. It was kind of confusing for a while, for me anyway, as a consumer, as to which one was, my nostalgia growing up with Harvest Moon plot that I'm familiar with. Hey, Kip. Stay away from my tea. Oh, you want to say hi? Guess he wants to say hi. Of course he does. But anyway, hey. Okay, come here. So anyway, didn't know the difference between Story of Seasons and Harvest Moon, because apparently Natsume kept the Harvest Moon title, but couldn't keep anything else really. And then everything else was done by Marvelous, which then worked together with Xseed after splitting from Natsume. So anything that's under the Story of Seasons rebrand is from the original Harvest Moon from back in the Game Boy days. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because now it makes sense to me. So now that I know that, going into this, I'm going to give you a little bit of history as to, I guess, how I got into Harvest Moon. Because, I started playing Harvest Moon on the first Game Boy release that was in North America, before the Game Boy Advance release that was done for Friends of Mineral Town, and then more Friends of Mineral Town, because I have both. Still have those, still working, still have a working Game Boy Advance. Very proud of myself for that. Big accomplishment on my part. And I played those games a lot. Myself personally, I think I played more Friends of Mineral Town more than I did Friends of Mineral Town, because of the fact that you could be a girl, and that wasn't something that I had an option for at the time, which is kind of funny thinking on it now, because now I don't identify as a girl. I identify as non-binary, for anybody who doesn't know. Anyway, not related. And then I also have the GameCube games that connected to the Game Boy Advance games through the Game Boy Advance GameCube cord thing, which I also still have. Oh man, I was a big fan. Game Boy Advance and GameCube days were my prime gaming days that really sold me on gaming. So obviously we have Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life, which, oh man, not gonna lie, the first person I tried to go for was Muffy as a bachelorette, but for some reason it got stuck in the game where I couldn't advance further than the child stage. Not the toddler stage, but the child stage, and then, I don't know. I'll have to, replay this at some point to see if, that was, just me not playing far enough, or if it was a glitch or whatnot. I'm not entirely sure, but that was something that happened, and my next pick had been Cecilia. I think that was her name. Pretty sure I even still have, oh, I do still have the instruction booklet in here. That's insane. Back when games came with instruction booklets. Gosh, that doesn't even happen anymore. What was her name? Yeah, Celia. Not Cecile. Celia. Sorry. But yeah, Muffy and Celia were like my top 2 choices at the time, and it wasn't until later when I started to actually start getting into Nami. I also started playing Another Wonderful Life, which then became probably my absolute favorite. The only thing that I really hated from this game that they changed in regards to this game was that this game gave you like this really, really massive field, and I had planted the entire thing with strawberries at one point. It was ridiculous. I made a lot of bank, but it was really stupid. I don't know why I did that to myself when I was a kid. Whereas with this game, they take that out and just put it with like a bunch of foresty bits that you can forage from, and I'm just like, really? I get like this tiny little plot, and then this other tiny little plot that doesn't have really fertile soil, that's mostly meant for trees, and that's it. And then I mostly get my animals. Is it because I'm a girl that you think I don't want to do the farming shit? Because, like, I want to do the farming shit that doesn't always relate to animals, too. That was one of the things that bugged me a lot with this one. I actually did beat this one where I didn't beat the other one. That's a very common thing with me, is I don't beat my video games. I literally just play them until I forget about them and then probably have to restart because I forget where I am. Yeah. Good thing with Harvest Moon, that's not really a problem. It's pretty repetitive in a good way. You never lose track of where you are. So the first one that I beat the game with was Marlin, right here. Our big old grumpy farm boy. So apparently I really liked the down-to-earth farm characters from this game. And then I also went with Rock as well because apparently he was my second choice. I don't know why. Don't know what the theme was going on in my brain when I was a kid that age and when this stuff came out. Because, like, when did this get published, dude? Now that I'm thinking about it, when did these games come out? 2005? Oh, jeez, I'm dating myself a little bit. When did this one come out? The first one, A Wonderful Life. Gotta know now. 2004. Shit. How old was I? Turning 25 this year, so you do the math. And like with this game, what I also liked is that you could change your clothes. And then, oh man, we're gonna also mention the really awkward puberty stage of GameCube, when it was like turning into like the Wii and the little cartoon changes that they were doing. Magical Melody. There's a lot that can be said that could easily have been better, that they have obviously improved on since this game. There's just, the awkward puberty game, that's what I call this one. The storyline, great though. And then I also have Tree of Tranquility on my shelf. I'm just not going to grab it because it's unrelated to what I'm talking about at this point. Because the thing I want to focus on is Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, because it's the newest remake. Of course, I've been playing it because, of course, huge Harvest Moon fan. I also play Stardew Valley and have like 2 copies of that, so, you know, clearly I'm a huge Farm Simulator kind of person, without actually owning the game Farm Simulator. Weirdly enough. But I do absolutely love the new remake. Not only did they keep everything from the original, like not really all that much has been shifted or altered too much, other than the rival marriages apparently that I didn't even know about. The new content isn't all that bad either. Like, I'm probably not gonna explore the new Bachelor and Bachelorettes that have been added all that much, just because my childhood pick and favorite that I never actually got to marry in the game, because of course I'm notorious for never finishing my games, was Gray. And so right now I'm going after Gray, and I'm like, yes, okay, want this, yes, gotta finish the childhood dream. Do you really have to? There we go. But the thing that I'm making this whole video about is one tiny little detail, is that I want them to include Forget-Me-Not Valley, because those GameCube games that I just went over, other than Magical Melody, of course, are ones that I am just so attached to and so fond of. Like, I was trying to make friends with this little snow monster that would pop up every winter in both of those games, and like, there's so many little things in that valley, in that fictional farming little valley, that was also connected to Mineral Town at the same time. And like, Van was traveling between the two, and I have yet to see Van in the remake of Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town, but I mean, I'm hoping I do, because that's where you get your pets. So I haven't gotten that far yet, but I'm really hoping that it comes soon. And the one thing that is hinted in the game from the Mayor Thomas is of a neighboring town if you get to that particular part in the game. And the neighboring town is Forget-Me-Not Valley. So it's like, and you can oversee Forget-Me-Not Valley from the mountain in the game. So it's like, all the elements are there that have always been there, and it's just I want Forget-Me-Not Valley to be revitalized as well. I really do. And I want it to somehow still be connected between the two games. I'm just not sure how they would manage that necessarily. Like, I'm not sure how you would connect the two games the same way that they did with the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube. Or if it would have to be in a completely different way that is kind of flashing back to that and being, or like, not flashing back, because that's not really the term I'm looking for, but for lack of a better word, make it a throwback to, like, hey, from when we did this, you know? Like, I'm really hoping that something like that happens, and that's just because that was when I really got into Harvest Moon, was with the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube together. Both of those really solidified me in being a part of the Harvest Moon / now Story of Seasons games. Like, that's, I don't know what captivated me so much about those games, other than like the absolute fucking wholesomeness of it all. But it's just so pure and so good. What's funny, little funny tidbit though, about the remake that they did for Friends of Mineral Town, they changed the wine to grape juice, but then as I got to a Purple Heart with Karen, which was unintentional, mind you, I got a lot of Purple Hearts with a lot of people that I was like, okay, this isn't how easy as before, dear Lord. But when I got a Purple Heart with her, you get her wine, and they label it as wine, but yet everything else is grape juice. So it's just kind of funny. Just a little funny tidbit from that. But anyway, I don't know about anybody else, but that's something that I hope that is in the works, or being talked about at the very least, of bringing back Forget-Me-Not Valley. Because, oh man, Forget-Me-Not Valley and those games are kind of the sole reason why I like Forget-Me-Not Flowers, because, I don't know, same name, based off the same thing, I don't know, just, they're correlated a little bit by name alone, but still, just kind of, it holds a special place in my heart, what can I say? Anyway, I'm gonna stop being a crazy, mild fangirl, gamer girl. I don't even know what you would call me. I play, like, everything under the sun. So, well, not even, I mean, I wouldn't say everything, but I play lots of different genres. Just depends on what grabs my attention. Like, I even have an old Naruto GameCube game that doesn't work anymore. Stopped working. But I still keep it. And I don't know why I keep it. I just keep it. And I don't even play, like, those Naruto games anymore, but I used to. Back in those days, like, the GameCube was my fucking jam, man. I even have, what was it called? Yeah, I even have Nicktoons Battle for Volcano Island because I also got the Game Boy game that they had like the Game Boy Advance game that they had released before this. And I have played the shit out of Teen Titans because, of course. Like, GameCube was my fucking jam, man. So, like, the Switch is just revitalizing that for me. Man, I could do a tour of, like, all the fucking video games that I have. It'd be ridiculous. Maybe I will do that. Be like, hey, look, these are all the video games I own. Ha ha. Like, a good chunk of them I haven't even played yet, so. Because some of them have been, secondhand that were given to me from people who don't really play them anymore either, so, yeah. Let me know if you want to have a tour of my special gaming collection. And maybe I'll do that. Anyway, that's me being all excited about Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons, what gobbledygook being revitalized. My childhood coming back to me, despite everything happening in 2020. Okay, bye.